Right. So this is the final webinar. It has been quite a journey, and I'm back from a nice hiatus. But I hope you guys are doing well. The weather is improving in the Netherlands. By the time you guys come, it's going to be summer, and I think you don't have to deal with like really harsh winds and cold weather. So that's going to be good for you guys. But yeah, so I just want to shake things up a bit for this conversation or the webinar, and I want it to be more engaging. And I guess we don't have a lot of people joining in today because it was a bit of a last minute thing from my side or our side also. So I think we can definitely have it more engaging. Obviously, we will be presenting some of the stuff that we want to talk to you guys about. But if you have any questions, please feel free to just unmute yourself and ask us questions, because that way it feels nicer, because it feels like we are talking to humans and we're not just typing stuff in the chat. So please feel free to just pitch in, ask questions. And we don't really have a theme as such for today. So if you feel you have a question that might not be necessarily covered in the slides that we have been presenting, then just feel free to just ask us. Okay, don't worry about it. Okay, so do you think we should wait? Let me check.
I think we can wait for like 2 to 3 more minutes.
Okay.
Because I see 10 people have already joined.
All right. So how's it going for you guys? Like, how are the stress levels with regards to your visa and stuff like that? So let me just create a poll. Create one.
আমি জানি দিতে পারবে কি আনবো বলো মাছ আলাদা একটু বলা যায় সবজিতে বলো সবজি
All right, so I've launched a poll. Please feel free to just pitch in.
তুমি করবে কি
Okay. I'm surprised nobody's hitting 5. I think that means ISA has done a good job. I think Sharon, it's 3 or 5. I think we should.
Yeah, I think we should start.
Yeah, just give me a minute. All right, so I'm going to end the poll now, and we'll come back to this later at the end of the webinar and ask you guys what are your stress levels again after the webinar. So it seems like a fair balance between 3 and 1. So I envy the people who are at 1, and I can understand or relate to the people who are at 3. I don't know what the people at 2 or 4 are eating or smoking. So give me a hit of that. Anyways, so let's begin. I think, Sharon, you can start sharing the screen.
Or just a minute.
Yeah, sure.
Is my screen visible? So this is the agenda for today. So we know that you're almost there. It's only like I think 2 months left for you to come here. So for that, we wanted to have this webinar. The main agenda of this webinar is to know the things which you have to carry. And with that followed by, we'll tell you what general things you need to take care before coming here. And there are a few things which you want to carry, but it might not be worth carrying them. So we'll discuss few of those things, and then we'll later cover how you can get here from. We'll not cover everything, but we'll carry from reaching Schiphol Airport to reaching your house, how it will be there. And we have seen a lot of questions during regarding the introduction program. So introduction program is also something which you're going to talk about. So the first thing is, let's say, what to carry. So starting, it's not that difficult. We basically say that get your regular clothing. No need to buy a lot of things. And regular clothing means whatever you're already wearing, that should do fine. And also you'll be arriving in the summer. So summers are colder compared to India. Like Indian summers are different than summers here, but at least you wouldn't be needing a lot of heavy jackets and everything. So that's something we'll talk about. We'll talk about that. And in regular clothing, I want you to understand one thing, which is we during the winters we do something called as layering of clothes, because only one jacket or one t-shirt might not be enough for you to survive the cold. So one suggestion from ISS side is to get the thermals from India, because the thermals here are quite expensive. You get the same quality of thermals from Decathlon, but the price here is almost 3 times. So I did a mistake of getting only like one thermal t-shirt and one thermal pant, but later I realized that okay, I need a little more than that. Like three t-shirts and two pants should do fine. So go to your nearest Decathlon or just order online. It'll arrive at your home, and it's cheaper than buying it over. And other than that, all the regular clothing which you wear, you just get it. Also, one more thing in clothing I want to add is get a socks which are a little thicker than what you usually wear. It'll help you a lot during the winters. So yeah, that's about clothing. If you have any questions regarding this while I'm going, you can feel free to pause me, or you can ask your question in the chat, and either Ved or someone in the chat will answer you. And then we'll go to electronics. So one thing I wanted to mention in electronics, because laptop also comes under electronics. I've seen a lot of questions asking whether I should buy a laptop in India, or will my existing laptop work. For the question regarding whether my existing laptop will work or not, you can basically check the TU Delft recommended things. And we also have answered quite a number of questions in the group as well. And for people who are planning to buy a new laptop, a personal suggestion is get it from the Netherlands. Uh, I have two reasons for it. The first one is you'll save a lot of space and weight carrying the laptop. The second one is the warranty, because you will be staying in Netherlands for 2 years, and you might go to India or might not go to India. And if something happens, it's very expensive to get your laptops repaired. So the little amount of money you save in India, buying a laptop in India, might not justify the risk which are involved with that. So I would suggest you to buy a laptop here. And apart from that, I would ask you to get a couple of extra charging cables, because cables in India, Amazon, you get it for 250, 300 rupees watt. But here, the same cables, you'll have to spend at least some 7 to 9 euros. And if you want a better quality one, it will be a north of 15 euros. So get a few additional cables, a USB if you want, a USB, and a power bank. I think a power bank, you should have a power bank, because power banks here are also quite expensive. And coming to the next thing which you have to carry is the Indian to EU pin converter. So because majority of the things like your laptop or mobile charger have the Indian pin, which is not compatible with EU pin, we will There, okay, yeah, I'll share the link in the group, which we generally use it from the Amazon, which we bought it, and you can buy that. And also, I would suggest you to get one international adapter. This is not only the Indian to EU, but also a complete international adapter, so that even though if you have a long layover somewhere, you'll be able to charge your phones there. This is from a personal experience. The British pin is different from the EU, like the Netherlands pin. So I had a issue charging my phone. So that's why I made sure to add that. And
Can
also
I
I would
just add
suggest,
one more thing, Sharan?
yeah,
Like with the universal pin, there is also this one thing that I got, and this does not work in the Netherlands because you have like a circular pin sort of thing. So do not buy this. If you bought this already, please don't bring that. It is not useful in the Netherlands.
we'll
Yeah.
send a link in the group on
Yeah,
to
yeah,
which
yeah.
one will exactly
Yeah,
work, which one we
yeah,
use.
exactly.
Should be
Try
somewhere
to
over
get
there.
that.
Okay, I couldn't find it, but yeah, that's, and also get a small toolkit, because sometimes the toolkit which has a lot of tools to open whatever is necessary. So sometimes, yeah, that one which Vignesh is showing, if you
Yeah,
can get
like this.
this one, yeah, perfect. So yeah, apart from that, you can get a small toolkit, because sometimes you might have to open your laptop for something, or whatever might be the reason, because taking your laptop outside for simple things might cost you a lot. So yeah, and apart from that, I would also suggest you to get few batteries, like AA or AAA for your mouse or any other appliances which are going to use, because batteries here sometimes can be expensive, and if not expensive, I can say that you have to buy it in a bulk of either 6 or 12, and it's not always feasible for us to buy those many, because I hardly use one battery for almost 2 months, so it's waste of buying all of that, and it's quite kind of expensive also. So this is regarding the electronics and everything. Then we'll come to kitchen appliances. Yeah, based on your housing, you can get a pressure cooker which is based on induction or not. And I'm telling you once again, just go through your rental contract and see your house whether it has gas or induction. This is very important. So this is something which you need to worry about. And then with that, as your mom might have already told you to carry some extra gaskets, yeah, we are also saying the same thing. Get extra gaskets, get extra safety valves, because pressure cooker is something which you won't find it here in the Netherlands. You will find it in Indian stores, but it will be way too expensive. So pressure cooker is something which is a must. And apart from that, I would also suggest you to get a tawa for making dosa or like making rotis, because the tawa which we get here is a little different. It doesn't have, it's not like the Indian tawa we use. So yeah, you can get this particular things for sure. And then the next thing, what I would suggest is get rice and pulses and rice mixes, whatever you are like always eat. Get it for a week or two. If you ask me, to be honest, get it for a month, because you'll figure out where to like buy groceries and everything. It will take a while. And as soon as you come, you'll be having the IP, and after IP, then only you'll be able to like uh, go everywhere and explore things properly. So this is one thing which you can buy it immediately. And yeah, I love ghee. I love eating ghee. I use it in cooking every day. So I got a lot of ghee from home. So because ghee is very expensive, and yesterday I ran out of my ghee and I went to the supermarket to buy it, and it's around 1800 rupees a kilo. So it's super, super expensive. So if you like ghee and if you like eating a lot, so you can get it from India, as India only. And then spices are also expensive, because they actually don't, they import it from India. But what I found is the spices which we buy here, they don't have that how do I say it, the same flavor as what we get in India, like what we are used to. So even if you take any spices, it's not the same. So I would suggest you to get few spices which you regularly use. and all the masala I'm saying, not the, I mean, you can also get the MTR masalas and everything, the pre-made ones. You can buy that here as well. By masalas, I specifically mean that trust me, after coming here, you'll feel that homesickness, even though you did not like your mom's cooking back at home. After coming here, cooking yourself for 2 months, you will crave that particular taste. So go to your mom, ask her what masalas does she use, and every household has their own set of masala. Like all our households, the garam masala is something different which we use, which only our families are known. The recipe is known only to our families. So get those masalas; it will help you a lot. And apart from that, tea, if you are a avid tea drinker, I would suggest you to get some tea from India, because tea is also quite expensive here. So this is also one thing which I would suggest. And then afterwards, what you can do is you get some ready to eat mixes like Maggi, or what I got was the ready-made MTR upma packets, because sometimes you get too busy in work, and these are the ones that might save. You might not be using it right after coming, but it's better to have some. So you can get all of this, and don't forget to get a lot of snacks, because all the Haldiram snacks and everything are very expensive here. So if you feel like eating some Indian snack, I'm pretty sure you won't crave that in the first 2 months. But as soon as you hit the 2 month mark, I call it the 2 month mark. As soon as you finish 2 months here, then you'll start craving all the things which you never liked. So personally, I've never liked to cook brinjal, but after 2 months, I felt like, okay, I should probably give brinjal a try, and I cooked it. So that's how it changes. So apart from that, yeah, tongs, the one which you use for taking utensils out of the hot things or something, you basically don't get that here. So you get that, and I would suggest you to get 2 spoons, 2 forks, a glass, and a tea strainer. Tea strainer is very important, because I have not seen a tea strainer being sold in the Netherlands. Basically, the tea strainer is the strainer for tea. You can use it for anything, but you don't get that particular thing here in the Netherlands. And apart from this, I would also suggest you to go through the like people who have duo housing. You know what duo is going to provide you. Like duo is going to provide you with a little spice mix which will contain salt and everything for the first 2 to 3 weeks. So I would suggest you to go look at that particular list. And people who are not there in duo, like who did not get housing through duo, you see the housing which you have, are they going to provide anything? And if not, you just download the duo list and see that whatever are applicable for you out of those particular things. And yeah, safety pins and sewing kit is like must, I would say. Sewing kit is must, because it's very expensive to get something stitched in the Netherlands. Like if a button or something comes out of your t-shirt or shirt, it's very difficult to find places who will do that particular job. And even if you manage to find something who does that, it'll cost you a lot of money, because the minimum wage is very high here, and nobody basically does anything below the minimum wage, which is 15 to 16 euros. So you just take that into account and get that. And if you are not unfamiliar with sewing, just it'll hardly take. I learned it in like 2 days. My mom gave me a bunch of clothes and some buttons and asked me to practice it. So you can also do that for a day or two, and you'll be good to go. And general medicine kit, whatever medicines like Dolo 650, whatever you generally use when you get cold, cough, dehydration, whatever it is, all of those medicines you get them, because in the Netherlands the medical system is really really good, but it also takes a lot of time for you to uh, get something out of it. So all of these small medicines, I think you should have it with you. So if you get fever, it might take a day or two to get the GP's appointment. So for that particular period, you can suppress your fever with Dolo or something. So I would suggest you to get all of those. And then personal hygiene. Personal hygiene is something, yeah, which is very personal. So I would suggest you, first of all, don't forget to get tongue cleaners, because I have not seen tongue cleaners in the Netherlands. Like, so you can get those. And about the products, it's up to you. So I am someone who would like to stick to a brand and use only it. So I got my preferred products from India. But I've also seen people who are like open to trying out new things, and it's up to you. If you're open to trying out new things, we get a lot of products here as well. Some products are expensive, some products are not. It basically depends on the type of product. And if you are already using some particular product, and if you want to continue using that particular product, I would suggest you to stock it up and get it. Otherwise, you can buy a lot of things here as well. And get a nail cutter as well. Yeah, regarding trimmer, if you already have it, you can get it. If you don't have it, it's cheaper in India, but the same, I would give you the same reason as trimmer is something which I have seen get spoiled sometimes. Even if you have a Philips trimmer, it might get spoiled because of some particular reason. And if you are planning to buy a new one, I would suggest you to buy it in the Netherlands only because of the warranty purposes. Otherwise, trimmers are also not that cheap. So you can take a call on that. And then spectacles. If you're wearing spectacles, don't forget to get a spare spectacles or contact lenses. Spectacles here, if you break one, it is going to cost you a minimum of 150 to 170 euros. So I would suggest you to get spare spectacles. And based on your department, you can get a scientific calculator if you feel that you might need it, but it's better to get it if you already have it, because scientific calculators are also something which are very, very, very expensive over here. So yeah, this is something which you have to carry. Apart from all of these, you can also carry, if you're into photography, you can carry your cameras. If you're into playing music, I know a lot of people who got their music like guitars and keyboards from India or wherever they're coming from. So it's up to you. If you want to get them, you can get it. But you might have to pay a little extra based on what type of things you're getting. And not for cameras, for musical instruments. So you can see that. And I think I've covered pretty much everything which I intended to cover. Yeah, one more thing is the list which I mentioned in this particular slide is non-exhaustive. That basically means I did not count everything. So the list you might prepare for yourself might be a little different. I'm just giving you a little heads up of what we faced and what we think is very important. Some of these things might not be applicable to you, but at the same time, there might be some other things which are very important for you. And if you're in a doubt, you can put up a message in the group saying that, hey, what's the price of this? Should I get this or something? If you put up a message on the group, basically, if any other person is also planning to get the same thing, it will save us the time to like answer the same question multiple times over DM. So feel free to use the group. And one more thing I wanted to say is if you're planning to like put up a question, I would suggest you to use a search option and just go and see if someone might have already answered it. So that will also save us a lot of time. And yeah, I think I covered everything. If I missed something, you can add.
Yeah. So like I'll add few things that actually the calculators you cannot use a programmable calculator. If you're getting a new one, just get a non-programmable calculator. And hospitals over here are so expensive. And maybe if you have a like let's say a stomach pain, and if you're trying to reach out them in the middle of a night, it actually redirects to an emergency thing. So if the doctors feel that you're not an emergency case, then they would, insurance doesn't cover in it. So try to have medicines like minimal dosage of painkiller, so it would help you like in case of emergency. And try to get the induction base vessel. So if you are moving from a gas building or to next year, if you're going to somewhere a building which has induction, so you can also use the same vessel. So instead you don't have to buy a new one. And get a tawa with a small circumference. So if you're if the induction is there, so it does not supply heat over the whole area of the server tower. So try to get a smaller one, and try to get a AA battery for the clock that you have in your will be in Duo will not provide you batteries for the housing for the clock which you have in the room. So try to get a 2 AA battery which will like last for an year for one battery. Yeah. So someone asked a question about the blender. So I would say buying a blender in India much more efficient. Like for you can get a blender called Magic Bullet, which is like small, which is like 3,500, like which is more efficient when you compare the blenders over here. Yeah.
Okay, I have just thank you, Vignesh and Sharon, as well as Neil, for pitching in. I just noted one thing with regards to the laptops. Personal experience, I would say I would agree with Sharon. I got my laptop in India and it was a hassle. I mean, for me, it was a hassle because I came through Qatar Airways and they were completely adamant on the fact that your laptop cabin, a laptop bag is completely separate from the cabin luggage suitcase that you have. So my advice would be to first of all verify with your airline, do you have, like, in addition to the cabin luggage, can you also take a laptop bag? Because your laptop cannot go into your checked in, right? So verify that. Then some airlines after the COVID, the COVID-19 pandemic, they have also started, weighing the cabin luggage. And I think that is something that is going to create a huge problem for you, primarily because since you're going to come here for the first time, you're going to get a lot of other material with you. So if you already have a laptop, and especially a laptop which has very high specifications, then they do have a tendency to be on the higher side of weight. Yeah, so it is between the range of around 1.5 to like around 2 kgs. So that's, if they weigh it, you are completely screwed, right? So I would also suggest that keep some extra cash with you so that, in the case that there are certain items that are essential and you cannot discard them at the airport, do it, pay for it, because, they're not going to let you go ahead. So that should be your approach. But if there are certain non-essential items, for example, if you've carried Haldirams with you or something like that, I get it. It's a craving. Yes, it's expensive over here. But then again, if your weight is increasing because of Haldirams, you can then discard it. It's an opportunity cost that you're going to pay for. It's much better to buy it for maybe, let's say, 1.52 euros over here instead of paying 500 rupees per kg on an airport. It's not going to be 500. It's going to be more than that because 500 is for domestic. So that's one thing. Another thing for the laptop was, I think buying here makes sense, obviously with respect to the warranty, but I'm not sure if you guys have come, let's say, the laptop project, which is organized by TU Delft. So they have a tie-up with HP, at least as far as I remember initially. So they give you really good specs ka laptop for almost a 40-50% discount. And you can apply for it. The laptop will be delivered to your place. It's a hassle-free experience. So the good part about it is, one, you get 3 years of warranty. Number two is good specs for almost 50% discount. And the repair and the service that is carried out is free because you purchased the laptop from TU Delft. The question arises, what happens after 2 years? What happens once you're done with your master's? It's not like you have to return the laptop to TU Delft. No, the laptop remains with you. It's your own personal machine. So this is the only thing that I had to add. What else? With regards to the cooker, don't get something like 5 liters or 7 liters or something. Get like a 2.53 liter cooker, because it's something that you're going to cook for yourself and maximum 2-3 people. Because otherwise it's going to take up a lot of space, as well as naturally it is going to have a lot of weight. Masalas and tea, yes, it is definitely expensive. So yeah, try to get at least the most common kind of masalas that you're going to probably be using for at least a couple of months, and after that, well, you will have to buy it over here, so that's not an issue. With regards to the induction and non-induction, I think most of the utensils that are now being sold, they come with a particular branding. So please verify that when you buy, let's say, a cooker for that matter, it works on the induction as well as on the gas. So you don't need to buy two separate things, or you don't need to buy just an induction or just for the gas. Buy the one that is combined. It might be slightly more expensive, but I think it's completely worth it in the case that you end up, switching houses and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's about it from my side. We can go to the next slide.
I want to add one more thing. Like if people are buying already bought a laptop from India, and like in my case, I bought a laptop in India, but then I realized, okay, my company doesn't assure me for the exchange in the Netherlands. So I bought an international insurance for the laptop. So if any damages or issue that you have in Netherlands, you can claim it. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, continue.
Okay, so coming to the general stuff, I would suggest you to go toward your dentist, your ophthalmologist, and your general practitioner for one complete checkup before leaving the Netherlands. Before coming to the Netherlands. So if you have something else to worry about, or the doctor can give you a ongoing prescription for something, it's better to get tested for all of this, because one thing is for sure, that after coming here, your vitamin D levels are going to go low. If you already have a deficiency or something, it's better to know before, and do that. And one more thing is, whatever documents you are going to carry, always leave a copy of the original set at home, so it can be helpful. And the next thing is, if you're planning to get a haircut, and if you have long hair, get a haircut in India and come to the Netherlands, because haircut is pretty expensive. It can cost from 15 euros to 23, 25 euros based on the place. So that's one thing. And the next thing is Forex card. As we already discussed once, don't go for it's okay if you go for the new online neo banks which are already present. For example, in our case, we had this neo card, but what happened was recently neo, because of the RBI guidelines, they stopped all the international transactions suddenly. So yeah, it might happen anytime, because RBI rules are unpredictable, and they don't give a waiting period. It happened overnight. So RBI just declared that, okay, from tomorrow morning, from today midnight, none of the international transactions are going to work on this particular mode of cards, and boom. So you won't be having any money. So the safest bet is to get a Forex card with already euros loaded in it. So it would be very helpful for the initial 2 months before you get your refund. And then so yeah, the neo card happened when the spring intake people actually came. So few of the people I know, they took a toll, because suddenly the transactions were stopped, and they did not have any other means of taking out cash and anything, because the card stopped working suddenly. So yeah, go for a trusted company, trusted bank. And then the other thing is, go to your general practitioner, and whatever medicines you're going to carry to the Netherlands, it's better to have a prescription. It's not like they will stop you and ask you to show your prescription, but God forbidden, if they stop you, you need to prove that these are the medicines which you use. So you can go to your nearest doctor and just ask him to write a prescription of all the medicines. Like, he'll only write Dolo and what dosage, everything. You just have to carry a prescription, and you're good to go. It'll not cost a lot, but if they stop you at the customs, and if you're unable to show any proof, then you might have to discard all the medicines that you have got. So that's one thing. And then standard passport size photos. It's better to have passport size photos for various reasons, and it won't even take up a lot of space. So with all your documents, it's better to have few passport size photos also. I would suggest you to, whenever you're going for the visa interview, you're gonna get your passport size photo clicked for visa purposes. Just take additional copies of that. Let's say some 10 copies or 15 copies, whatever it is, just let it be, and put it in your bag. And the rental contract, you have to get 2 sets of copies, because while registration, you'll have to submit 1 set of copy to them, and 1 is for your own reference. So 2 should be fine. And of course, you'll have the digital copy, and you can get it printed whenever you want. so it won't be an issue. But for the initial days, you have to get the copy of rental contract. And then insurance. I would suggest you not to take Indian insurance, like international insurance, because it might be very difficult for you to get a claim later. Instead, what you can do is you can get the insurance which is recommended by the university. Most of us use that insurance only, but 90% of, not even 90, I think almost everyone in the Netherlands uses the insurance from a Dutch company. It's very easy to get claims and everything. And the insurance which you are going to take will also cover travel insurance from the if you take the one recommended by the university. So you did not have to spend again on travel insurance. Just make sure that you take your insurance. You make sure that your insurance starts one day before your travel. So you're good to go. And yeah, one more thing I wanted to say is regarding the clothes. Formal clothes, I have seen that they are quite expensive here if you want to go full formals. So especially suits, you can get suits in H&M or any other place, but they are also quite expensive. So you wouldn't really need a suit, because I have not used a suit till now and I'm almost done with my first year. So I think you'll need your suit only during your graduation or something. Maybe Ved can tell more about suit. And so that's one thing. And the watches and sunglasses here are also quite expensive. So if you have it, just get it. Don't rely on buying it over here. And yeah, one more thing, as I mentioned the same thing, tea and homemade masala, you will not be able to get homemade masalas a lot of times. So get it as much as possible. And all the travel documents, tickets, visa, proof of enrollment, and passport. These things should always be together when you're traveling. So wherever you are there, in one small particular pouch or something, all of these should be together. So take care of that. And yeah, I think this is the general stuff which we wanted to talk about. Do you guys have anything to add? Anything that I have missed?
Yeah, I want to cover the suit aspect of it. Yeah, so the suit, I think it completely depends. Yes, I did get just a blazer over here, but I don't think it's extremely important. Yeah, if you can get it, definitely get it. But if you don't have one, I would say you can just go to H&M and buy a blazer or a pant or something like that. Definitely carry a pair of formal clothes, which includes basically shirt and pant, or if in the case of women, it might include like a pencil skirt or something like that. So whatever you're comfortable with, but definitely carry a set of formal clothes, because you might be needing it for interviews or certain professional events that definitely do happen during the career fair and stuff like that. But in the case of a suit, I would say it's still debatable. If you already have one, I would say get it with you. If you don't have one, don't fret about it. If you feel like once you're graduating, if there's an issue, if there's a situation that calls for it, you can definitely buy it. I know it's written over here, it's going to sound quite expensive. No, sorry. No, it's not written. Yeah, quite expensive, especially suits. It's written over here. So to put things into perspective, I got a blazer for myself from H&M. So it is, I would say, not the priciest of things. Obviously, there are more pricier things, but it's also not the, it is up there with the fast fashion of sorts. It cost me around 50 euros or something like that. So at that point of time, if I converted it, it was around, between 3,500 to 4,000 rupees. At that point of time, euro was, slightly lower. So yeah, if you go to Stitch or buy just a blazer in India also right now, it is going to be in that particular range. So I think it's definitely feasible to buy one over here if that's something. But hey, I mean, if you're graduating and if you feel like you can also wear Indian, traditional attire, you can own it. You can add a personal touch to it. So it's not necessary that you have to wear a suit. Yeah. What else? Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to add over here. I think someone asked the question, what type of shoes should we get? I think the essentials are basically you need a pair of slippers, which need to be extremely comfortable for you to use in the house. Primarily because during the winters, I don't think duo housing has floor heating. So the floor also will get quite cold. Yeah. And it's not always advisable to be wearing socks throughout the night because it's going to restrict your blood flow. So at least at home, you would want to be roaming around freely. So in that case, having a pair of comfortable slippers, especially warm ones, is going to help you with that. Another one I would say is a good pair of sneakers. And by sneakers, I don't mean the Vans or the Converse that you get with the flat soles. Those are good if you are only walking for a very short distance. They are not good for if you're continuously walking from like one place to the other, let's say from the market to the center or from the center to let's say the TU Delft campus or something like that. Even for cycling, I would say flat soles are okay, but I would still advise you to get a good pair of sneakers because you might require it for trekking, for traveling and stuff like that, and the rest, I would say I completely leave it up to you. You can get a pair of good, the flat soles that you want. You can get a pair of heels and whatever you feel like, definitely for the nights that you go out. Yeah, feel free as long as you're within the weight limits. And with respect to winter boots, I think a better idea would be to buy them over here. There are several shops that, offer quite a amount of deep discounts during winter on jackets as well as, let's say, shoes and other accessories. So if you feel, your Decathlon jacket was not sufficient, with the one or any jacket that you basically got from India was not sufficient in order to keep you warm, you can definitely go ahead and buy one over here when the winter comes into the picture because they tend to be quite more reasonable. So I hope I've covered that. There was also a question with regards to the birth certificate. I would say yes, carry your birth certificate, but the question is, does it need to be apostilled or apostilled, however you want to pronounce it? It completely depends, right? So if you're staying in the Delft municipality, you don't need it to be apostilled. And I believe most of you would be staying in the Delft area, so you don't need it to be apostilled. But if you're staying, let's say, in The Hague, or if you're staying, let's say, in Rotterdam or something like that, please go to the website of the gemeente or the municipality and check out whether they require a copy of your birth certificate and check out whether it needs to be apostilled. So I hope that answers your question. But irrespective of where you're staying, definitely get a copy of your original birth certificate. I'm not asking you to carry your original. A copy of that, get it attested or something like that, so it is as good as an original, right? So don't worry about that. I think that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next slide.
Yeah. And this is some things which I personally think are not worth carrying. The first thing is blenders and hair dryers, because one of the reason is they take up a lot of weight as well as space, and you can buy a very decent one here for like very less price. It won't be that expensive. The thing is, you have to basically weigh your things, which is more important for you. So based on that, but I think you get pretty good blenders, hair dryers, as well as frying pans and saucepans also, because I have not got a lot of frying pans and saucepans. I'm still using the one that Duo gave me, and apart from that, I also bought one from IKEA. So instead of that, I got some other things which I felt might be more important for me. So that's one thing. And yeah, one of the other thing is microwave safe boxes. I would suggest you not to carry boxes as it is, but because they take up space, but you can put some stuff in it and get the box as well as some particular stuff in it. Basically, you can optimize it and you can get it. The other thing I would not suggest you to get is a lot of stationery and notebooks. Notebooks for writing in every department there are study associations, and you can pick up notebooks for free. And all my notebooks which I've been using, I never bought even one of them. I just go to the study association. There are a pile of notebooks. I just take one or two, which how many ever I need from there. They are for you. They are completely free, and you can do it. There are also pens in the stand. In aerospace department, we have pens, pencils, everything there, and you can just take from there. It's for you. So you need not get a lot of classmate card, this big bundle and everything. Don't get it. It's unnecessary. And heavy winter wear, as other people like the other members have already pointed out. It's up to you if you want to get it or not, as well as a lot of shoes. Unless you're a sneakerhead, I got a lot of shoes because I love wearing shoes. So I got all my shoes. This is the reason I did not get frying pans and saucepans. I knew that I could buy them here, but the shoe collection I have, I couldn't get it here. So it's up to you. You have to wait. And as Ved said, a very good pair of slippers are extremely important. If you are living in Littstadt or something, it's going to get super, super, super cold on the ground because you don't have any layer on the ground. It's like concrete on it. You have a small sheet layer and you just keep walking on it. So it's get very cold. And a lot of rise and pulses. Yeah, this is because when I was initially traveling, my mom basically asked me to take a lot of rice because maybe we might not get the same rice here, but I did not get it, of course, but you get the everything over here. So don't waste your luggage on only these. You can be able to carry some other important things as well. So this is something, this list is also non-exhaustive. If you feel that you need something from these and you don't need something from the other list, you can tweak according to you. So yeah, these are the things that are not worth carrying. So with this, basically we are ending the topic of the things which you need to carry and how you're going to carry. Yeah. Okay. So now Vignesh will take over and he'll basically tell you how to get to Delft.
Yeah. Thank you, Sharan. So we'll see after coming after reaching Schiphol, after the passport control, after immigration, they'll ask you few formal questions like what are you going to study. It's not more formal. It's like few just questions they'll ask you. You just tell them and you can come to the baggage collection. You will take the thing. Sometimes in Schiphol, there is an issue of short of labor, so your luggages might come late. So you don't have to get panic. Sometimes it takes 3 hours to get. And after coming out of the baggage claim, if you just walk few meters away, we'll have the train station where as we are coming first time, we will not have OV chip card. So if you go to the buying a train ticket, they will charge you around 12 or 13 euros, €1 extra for the printing the ticket. So then if you go to the underground, you will have the train. So you can also check what time is the trains actually from Schiphol to Delft. So you can check in the 9292 app and NS app. So if you take the train from Schiphol to Delft, you will be reaching Delft. After reaching Delft, you can also get an anonymous OV chip card, which will cost around €7.50. Upon that, we have to recharge our card. Then you can take a bus or tram. Most of the duo housings are ranging from 2 to 3 kilometers. So if you're okay, you can walk or you can just take a bus or tram. Even the bus and tram, you can also check in the 9292 app as well as the Google Maps. So after reaching home, your building RA, resident assistant will be there. So you can collect your keys after showing your contract, and maybe he will ask your copy of your contract. Then after reaching your home, he will tell you to check every appliances, your home's things. So later then chill, have water from the tap. Then if possible, make a Maggie, eat, enjoy the day. And then after that, having a nice sleep, then start looking for enjoy the Delft. One more thing, in my personal experience, when I also told the experience previously in the previous meetings. So while coming from Schiphol to Delft, me and my roommate got like my roommate bag got dropped because actually like one like small drama happened, and the co-passenger threw some coins on the ground, and he suddenly told, "This is my station." Then we both were helping him to pick the coins, but later we saw that my roommate's sling bag got stolen. So like try to don't have your main stuff in one bag. Try to split and keep in every other different bag, so that if one bag gets stolen, others are like in your hand. So try to keep your passport in your hand. Don't keep in any bag or stuff. So passport is the main thing that you requires here. Then keep your cash in your wallet. I mean, don't keep your important stuff in any sling bag or small bags. Yeah, that's it. I think
Can I
that's it.
just add one more thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, the train thing, coming by train is not the easiest. At least for me, I found it very hard to travel by the train with two luggages. So if you know you're coming with a lot of people and you know they can help you with carrying the luggages, keeping it in the train and getting it off, etc., then come via train. If not, please book a cab. I think that would make things way simpler. And moreover, if your house is not very close to the station and if you have to again travel by a tram or a bus and then walk from there, it's going to be even more harder. So I would suggest, if these are the scenarios, then I would suggest don't take the train. Just book a cab and come directly to Delft.
Okay, so I can see a question like, should we get a SIM card from India? Like, initially you can recharge your mobile with the international roaming thing. So maybe after, if you're reaching the Delft, you can just call your parents and tell I've reached. Usually, like Duo package comes with an Lebara SIM card, so it will take 2 hours to activate. Then you can call your parents again, and also your all Duo housing will have the Wi-Fi thing, so we don't have to worry about it. All the public stations over in Netherlands also will have the Wi-Fi thing. So only like intermediate places you will not have the internet. Let's say in the bus or tram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah.
like to add one more thing to this. One thing is, while you're booking your flight tickets, and if you know that you are going to travel by train and reach Delft, I would suggest one thing, that is, make sure you are arriving to Delft before 12 in the morning, like early morning, or after 5 in the morning, because in this particular time there is no public transport available. And if you're relying on public transport to travel from Delft station to your particular house, this is the time which you need to know. Like from 12 to 5 o'clock in the morning, there's no public transport. It stops. So this is one thing which I would suggest. And as Niveda said, I know a lot of people, like 4 people, they took a cab directly from the airport to their particular place. So I would suggest, if you are to talk in the group, get to know people which flight they are booking, and you all can group, and together you can take a decision on how to reach Delft. It would make a life lot simpler.
Yeah, and
And
someone asked like, how do we apply for the welcome package? I think you must have already done it if you have a duo house, right? Because there would be a question which says, if you want a welcome package, then you have to pay some amount with the money you already have to pay or something like that, right? That's what we
no,
did
no,
as well.
No,
the duo package was included with the duo things which they give to us. I mean,
Yeah,
all
but
of, yeah, that's mandatory to pay. We
yeah,
can't opt out of that.
we can out of that, right? Because it includes the bed and all of that also comes with that, right?
Yeah, it comes with that.
Then
so it's
it's
a mandatory
optional as
thing.
far as
It's
no, it's
mandatory.
No,
It's
no,
not
no, it's optional, I
optional.
think.
Is it optional?
Okay.
But yeah, if you're taking the bed and everything, you basically get everything. And also, you need not worry a lot about SIM card. You can like walk into any of the supermarket and buy SIM cards. and they'll get activated in 2 hours. If not, on the first day of IP, your IP coach will hand you free SIM
Yeah.
cards. So SIM cards are everywhere. So it's not a big issue. And I've seen a question about the Matrix travel SIM card, and I don't think that's needed. To be honest, I did not even have a international roaming pack on my phone because there was Wi-Fi everywhere. As soon as I came to Schiphol, there was Schiphol airport Wi-Fi. As soon as I got into the train, there was train Wi-Fi. As soon as I came to Delft station, there was Delft Wi-Fi. And I took a bus to my place, and there was EBS Wi-Fi in the bus as well. And as soon as you reach your home, there's your own Wi-Fi. So apart from that, the only thing which I did was I downloaded the maps, that particular Delft area, if I get lost. But also I was traveling with a group of like 8 people when I came. So it made a lot of things simpler. We already planned everything and we knew what exactly we had to do. So that's one thing. And
Also, like for the SIM card, if you don't have the welcome package and all of that, if you already know the address where you're going to be staying, I think 2 days or 3 days before, you can just go to the Lebara website and order like a free SIM. It'll be delivered to your place. So that
In your
will
post
also be
box.
an option. Yeah, it's free also. So it's very convenient.
Yeah. So I think, yeah,
think
we
we can
covered
move to the
everything.
Q&A.
Yeah. Next is next slide.
Q&A.
Oh, next is the introduction program.
Okay, so
Okay.
so the introduction program will will be beginning in August 14, I think so. So like it will be like happening for 4 days. Like they will take you to around the Delft, and you will get back. Like they'll tell you what exactly in the campus, and it's like interdisciplinarily people are from different departments. You have as a group, so you will have some fun activities, and you get to know each other. And if like last year they gave us a small project, so it is like how to like interact with your teammates, how do you build with yourself. Last day we had a DJ night, and the IP got over. Yeah.
Yeah, and IP is not mandatory as we said, but it's highly recommended even by ISA, because you get to know a lot about TU Delft, the way how TU Delft functions, the way the cultural changes which you're going to experience, and basically all of this. And at the same time, we'll also get to make a lot of new friends from different departments, because after once your courses start, you hardly get time to interact with other department people. So you, by IP, you get to make a lot of friends in different places. So I think IP is very highly recommended. And I've asked this, and you can miss the first day of IP, but you can't miss from the second day of IP. It's like first day you can miss it, but if you want to attend IP, make sure that you join from the second day, because if you join on the third day, it's from the second day, everything is interconnected. It's not like they won't let you join, but yeah, it's recommended to join from the second day. So, and also you can follow TU Delft IP page on Instagram for more updates. They will also like set up a small course type of thing where you'll get a first-hand experience of how you need to enroll for courses, enroll for exams, and all of this. So yeah.
Basically about the bright space. So they'll
There
let
is
us
a
know
portal
how.
called Brightspace. They'll basically tell you how to use Brightspace. And then we are done for the agenda. Now we go to the Q&A. Not thank you. Yes, Q&A. We'll first take up the live questions with.
Yeah, sure. If anyone wants to unmute themselves and ask the question.
Yeah, we'll hold the chat for a little time, and we'll take up live questions.
I have 3 questions. First, you gave a list of things that one should carry. Given how big that list is, does it fit in 46 kgs?
I mean, we got here.
We got it here.
Okay, that's good to hear, because it sounded like a lot. Secondly, are there like graduating students who sell ovens or Like
Yeah, they
if
do.
Yeah.
that
They
is an
do.
option, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So you
But
can
also
check
like
out,
yeah, with you.
you can check out this website called Marktplatz or even Facebook Marketplace. You'll see quite a few people, selling microwaves or ovens or all sorts of things.
All sort
Like
of.
people go
Right.
crazy over there for quite
Mhm.
a decent rate. So I remember getting a microwave which normally costs like 200-250 euros for around 30-40 euros. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. So basically, yes, you will get stuff for cheap. Second hand.
Also, most of the duo housing will come up with the will have the microwave. So I don't think you have to buy one.
I mean, no, not all
No,
the
no,
duo
Not
houses.
all.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
not
think in
all.
my it's not mentioned in the list. That is why.
Yeah, if it's
Okay.
not mentioned in the list, it won't be there.
Okay, great.
Mhm.
And finally, like watches have very specific batteries, right? Is there like a sort of provision over there to get those replaced, or is that something we should carry ourselves?
No. If you have a very expensive watch, you wouldn't want to open it yourself, right? Even if you carry a battery. So I would
Okay.
suggest you to let it go and go to a decent place and get it repaired.
Okay, great. That's all I had to ask. Thank you.
Yep. And next.
Sharon, someone asked like how to register for IP. Do you know if the registrations are open already?
No. You don't have to register. Basically, all of your people's name are with IP. They will only approach you with an email soon,
Yeah.
and then you have to fill a
Okay.
form.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to register. They'll basically send you a questionnaire saying that, hey, so and so, we are the IP team, and we are having the IP. When are you going to come to Delft? All of these questions. Are you going to be there? Are you going to join on the first day itself or second day? All of these questions. So they'll only approach you. You need not do anything.
Right.
Yes, someone live questions?
Yeah.
Hi. So basically, you said there is a list of materials that will be available at the duo housing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
where is this list available? Like
It's on the Duo website.
Wait.
Mm.
Let me.
because I believe I was unable to find it while I was paying for it. There was a general inventory list, but
This particular Duo kit is common for all the people who are taking Duo housing,
Yeah.
irrespective of any housing. So it will basically contain a duvet, pillow, a pillow cover, a saucepan, frying pan, some spices,
okay,
and all of these things.
so
If we
these
find
are
it, we'll
things we'll get, but if microwave is not written over there in that list,
no,
so
that list is different from your house
huh,
inventory list. This list is something which you pay 160
exactly.
euros for, and microwave
So
is something that
where
is
is
there
the
in your. Am I not able to hear her? Or?
No, I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Even
I think
we
the
can't hear.
internet is a bit, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
maybe you can type the question out and we'll try to find the document. If someone has a
Yeah,
document, you can just
I'm
share it.
searching for it.
Yeah. Any other questions from other people?
Hi, just a follow-up to that question only. Is it in the like? Do we have to log into the Duo account and then find it, or like if you can like point us to where we would be able to find
Which
the
one?
list?
Which one?
And the
We couldn't hear you.
We couldn't
Maybe.
hear you.
Yeah.
I was saying the room specific inventory list.
Or room specific. Oh, it will be there in your. If you have to log into your Duo and in your building, my housing matter or something, it will be written on that. You will be able to see what all
Okay.
things are there in your house, and it only has a list of things that are available. How do I say it? Which are provided by Duo, but there might be instances where your seniors have left some more stuff for you. So in my case, the people who were living before me, they left what do you call it? Oven. And in my friend's room, the people who left before him, they left a couch, a microwave, one more fridge, and everything. So
I see.
yeah,
Okay, so the seniors would be able to use that probably.
we'll try to find out the particular list, inventory list, and we'll send it in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay.
Yeah,
thank you.
it is the inventory list actually.
Mhm.
The inventory list has the bed package and it says kitchen and welcome package, right?
Yeah, that's one. That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one that we're talking about. Did you guys find it, or wait, let me just share it. Oh. Yeah, okay. Sharon, you can go ahead. I can just send it in the
Any
chat.
other questions, guys?
Just I wanted to know
I
whether
will
the process.
look for the room.
I think your internet. Is it
Yeah.
like only people in the Netherlands can't hear it, or
No,
even
even we
Indians?
can't.
No, even
Oh,
Okay. Okay.
Because
So
we
in-
all share the same Wi-Fi. That's why.
yeah, so in case if someone's internet is not up to the mark, please you can write that
Please.
in the chat.
Yeah.
It's
I had
fine.
one question. The process of registering in the municipality, was that covered in some previous ISA video, which I can check?
No, we didn't really cover it, but I think it's a pretty straightforward process.
Yeah.
Once you come here, you can basically go to the Gemeente website and you can book a appointment over there. And they will specifically ask you, like, let's say, are you a new student over here and everything. So sometimes they offer a very special code for TU Delft students, primarily because you will also be competing with, let's say, other expats or other people who are coming to register at the municipality. Yeah. So sometimes TU Delft has an arrangement where you can get a special code from the municipality and you can get a more of an earlier appointment. So once you get the appointment, all that you have to do is go over there, show your face, show your enrollment letter that they ask you, because the purpose of you is basically to study over there. And the second thing that you have to show is basically the rental contract that you have. So obviously in the case of Duo, you will have a pretty straightforward rental contract, not going to be an issue. But in the case of people who are not staying in Duo, please verify with, let's say, your landlord or landlady that this is the exact rental contract, because it needs to have your name on it. So in certain cases, you might have something called as a subrogation agreement. So in that case, please take the subrogation agreement with you. And obviously, naturally carry a copy of your passport with you, because that is going to be the only identity document that you can furnish when people or officials basically ask you for it, until the time you get your residence permit. So I hope this procedure was quite clear. And immediately at the end of the appointment, they will basically register you at the Gemeente, they will work their magic on the computer, and you will get something called as the BSN number. So the BSN number kind of serves like a combination of the Aadhaar ID or the PAN number that we have in India. So basically, write it down somewhere or store it in your phone somewhere, because it's something that is extremely important. Everything that you do, if you're applying for rental allowance, if you're applying for, let's say, income tax applications, everything is linked to your BSN number. Even when you're applying for internships, it is linked to your BSN number. So it's very important to basically, keep it with you. I hope the process is clear.
Yes. So when you go to book an appointment, they give 3 options to log in: a Digi ID, a BSN number, or something else. Now, the Digi ID as such doesn't exist. Even like when you log in StudyLink, you have to use your email address. So then how do we
Yes.
book that appointment?
So initially you won't have a DG ID. Your DG ID is something that you can create once you get the BSN number. So I think
Right.
at least during my time, we had a separate link that was sent to us by TU Delft from which we could basically
Oh.
appointment.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh,
Same
okay,
for
okay.
last year as well. You'll get a separate link from TU Delft with which you can register like the first appointment.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Got it. That is what I had.
It's a
confusion.
pretty
Okay.
straightforward process. Don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
The only delaying part in this is you getting a slot, but after you get a slot, it's like 5-minute process.
Okay, great, great. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, I had one slightly off-topic question. So I am someone who did not get a duo house. So in the second year, is there a separate portal to apply for duo housing, or is it like if you don't get in first year, you won't get in second?
Oh, I can answer. So if you're not getting a housing in the first year, like, is it fine? It's fine if you're opted in the first year, but you're not still not got the duo thing. Duo will always provide second time in the second year. So, but if you're currently staying in a house which has an indefinite contract, it is much better than better than living in a duo, because if you're
Yeah.
again going to a second year, then your contract will expire. Then you have to again look for a new house.
Yeah.
It's basically like make yourself prioritize. If your rental contract is infinite, so it's better you can live in the same place.
Yes.
So it is possible. I haven't applied for Duo because by the time I
No,
got
then it's not
enrolled.
possible.
Okay.
If you have
Okay.
already paid for Duo and if you did not take their services or if you did not manage to get a house, then it might be possible
Yeah.
to
I
get
had
a house.
applied, but they had to withdraw me because they were not able to find.
That means
Okay.
they are going to refund your 265.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then in
yes.
that case, you won't be eligible for Duo
Yeah.
housing.
Okay.
So Utkarsh, I was in the same situation as you. I was staying in an external accommodation, and I also had requested them to, like, shift towards Duo in the second year. But at that point of time, they just straight up told me that they don't have space. Yeah. So I
Okay.
wouldn't count on it, and I would actually take Vignesh's advice and say that, okay, if you have an indefinite contract, or even if you don't have an indefinite contract, but something that can be renewed again and again, I would stick to the second house, unless the external housing, unless it's something that is extremely expensive, because by the time you move to Duo and you start working on your thesis, it'll already be July for the following year, and then again you'll have to find a new place, which is again a serious hassle. So if you have a place in Delft, take it. Don't think twice about it.
Got it. Thank you.
Duo is nothing special. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
but
after
it's
like
nothing
few
special.
months, we'll all have to look for housing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing special.
Along with
Don't
you,
worry
even
about it.
I have signed up for room.nl and Kamarnet. I have already begun my house search for next year. So, yeah, any other questions?
Do
Hi, actually,
allow
I
you?
have a question.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I see
No,
guys.
it's more about, yeah. It's more about the bank account because I heard that it takes a while to set up your bank account. So, I don't know, I heard that you need to bring cash and stuff. So, do you guys have any idea like how much cash should we bring in?
I can answer. So like
Sure.
after reaching the Netherlands, you will not have a bank account. So until if you don't have a BSN number, it's basically like a chain thing. So if you don't have a BSN number, you will not have the bank account. So we usually tell people to have a forex card, like load your cash for the next 2 months of your, let's say 1 month of your rent. So in case you have in case if your bank account is not ready, you can pay with your forex card to your housing. Probably have a cash close to like not more than 200 euros. So in case like when me and my roommate came in the train, he had like close to 400 euros and it completely gone. Even after we told the police station, and they were like, we are not responsible for the cash. But then he got the reimbursement only for the passport and other stuff. So try to have minimal cash, rather have in the forex.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, but to maybe expand on what Vignesh has said, I think Gayatri also asked how much is required. Yeah. So in that case, I would say at least, since if you're staying in Duo, then you're already paying like, let's say 1 month of rent initially, so you don't have to worry about it. Yeah, so maybe at least carry 1.5 months of expenses, as in that includes 1 month of rent, 1.5 months of groceries. Then let's say, which is maybe around 200 times 2, that's around 400 euros. Rent is depending upon the place that you stay, but I would say anything between 600 to 650 is normally in the case of Duo, so that's around 1,000 euros. And then an additional, let's say 300, 400 euros for, to help you settle in. Basically, if you need to buy a cycle, if you need to buy certain things for your house, you definitely need to have some emergency cash on hand. But naturally, this amounts to close to around 1,500 to 1,800 euros, depending upon what your rent is. I would not get 1,800 euros in cash. Take Vignesh's advice, put a maximum amount of that into your Forex card. Don't even do a 50-50 split. I would rather do like a 70-30 split, because in most cases in the Netherlands, they always use cards. Yeah. So put as much money as possible in your Forex card out of the, let's say, the 1,800 or 1,500 euros that I've specified. And by the time, let's say, the end of September rolls by, your bank account should definitely be ready. Your money from TU Delft, the housing, the deposit that you had initially paid along with your fees will also be returned to you around the end of September or the first week of October. So that's why I said 1.5 month worth of, what is that called? Yeah, your living cost. Yeah, someone has asked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I hope
wait,
that
before
answers your
going to
question
that,
correctly.
I would also want to tell this particular thing that whenever you are buying cash, like taking cash, go with a renowned or good vendor to buy cash, and always carry your bill of the cash which you bought, because you're
Yes.
buying international currency. Always, and don't, I mean, even if they're offering, see, no one offers you a lower rate than the rate which is on Google. And if someone is offering a lower rate, thing like 90%, 99%, it's a scam and there is something wrong with it. So I would suggest you not to take any cash from there, and go to some good bank or good forex services and get your cash and carry a bill.
Yeah, my dad always told me this, like, don't be penny wise and pound foolish. So I've to stick to that. So try not to get scammed.
One more thing is like in Netherlands, most of the payment service providers are not Visa. So try to get a forex card based on Mastro or Mastercard. So in such a way, like you don't end up in like paying like, let's say, 2% of your service tax. So try to like ask your forex provider to give you in a Master or a Mastro card.
Yeah, Duo allows you to extend your contract for 1 more year. And there was a question regarding housing allowance, rent subsidy.
I think we have answered about that in the previous videos.
Yeah. And I think that is something that you can figure out once you're over here. Once you get GID, talk to your seniors, you'll figure it out. It's a very straightforward process. Don't worry about it.
And a question by Shantanu.
Yeah, I wanted to ask that someone mentioned that it takes you need the BSN number to get your bank account made.
Yes.
And so basically, I guess we'll get the BSN number within a few days of us landing once we are registered with the Dutch municipality. Is that correct?
Ideally, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but I wouldn't be too worried about it, like get it within, like if you register, let's say it's not like you have to register within 5 days, as it has been mentioned on the website. If you registered within a week or 10 days, it's going to be fine. And the BSN number is something that they print out during the appointment. So it's not like you have to wait another week to get your BSN number.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once we get that number, we can get an account open in our name like directly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, it's all digital banking. There's no physical bank. There is a physical bank here, but most of the students actually do it in online. So it takes you can do it in 1 day and you'll get the card in 15 days.
Yeah. So
it'll take 15 days to get the card.
No, not 15 days.
No,
it will take around a week. So basically, the chain of emails, like mails, is very different. So once you register for a bank account, you'll get 4 different posts to your place, and with those 4 different posts after. So basically, one will be a pin, one will something called as e-identifier. You'll figure everything out. So you can only access your account, like your activation will be complete only after you get all the 4 things.
Yeah.
So that 4 things, getting the 4 things, basically how the best time to open a bank account is on Monday, because by Saturday you'll get all your 4 mails. And Dutch mail service doesn't work on Sunday and Monday. So if you don't get anything on Saturday, you can't expect it on Monday. It will come only on Tuesday. So based on that, it will take like 4 to 8 days, and your account will be open.
So TU Delft will. I'm sorry for interrupting. Wait. My question was that will TU Delft be opening an account on our behalf, or will they be transferring?
You have to do it.
No,
you have to do it. Yeah, you have to do it.
Okay, and then they'll transfer the money to our account when we
they'll transfer the account here.
Again, TU Delft will ask for your bank account number. You will enter your bank details in that. Like after a span of I don't know exactly how many days it takes, they'll refund your living expenses to the account.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So, like, if we land on 17th, will we be able to do it all in, like, let's say I have dual housing. So, will it be like possible if I'm able to, pay the September's rent directly through that only?
No, no, no.
I
No,
don't
that
think
won't
so.
be possible.
That
I
won't be
think that
possible
is why I
because you'll be
said,
getting your refund only in October.
yeah,
Yeah.
that is why I said you need an additional at least 1.5 months of living expenses on top of what you've already paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Or you need to have some sort of facility that, let's say, maybe I'm not sure how you're financing your studies, but let's say that you have your parents who are going to pay. They need to have an international or transactions enabled so they can pay the rent for the first month, that is September, on your behalf.
No, I was thinking maybe I'll use TransferWise or something, and I'll get the money in my
Yeah, you
account.
can use TransferMate also.
Yeah, you can.
No, TransferWise. TransferMate is
Wise.
TransferWise. Wise.
Yeah, you can do that as well. But
I guess Wise will turn out to be quite cheap, right, compared to all other options.
No, Forex is much more cheaper than that.
Yeah, Forex is
Yeah.
actually cheaper than TransferWise because you'll be buying cash in bulk.
Yeah.
You should get better rates.
I would say like mostly go to a government based bank, get your Forex. It's like much more safer
Okay.
and easy to access, like instead
I mean,
of
it's
going
up to
some
you,
online
bro.
thing. Yeah.
Basically, you can see whatever works out best for you. You have both the
Yeah.
options because you'll have your bank account. Either you can take cash beforehand using Forex, or you can use Wise. Because I've known people who used Wise as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
whatever works best for you, you can do it. That's what we ask for you, like from you, a little bit of research from your side as well, because
Yeah.
what we do, what we say might not be like it would be updated information, but sometimes it would be like you might have found a better way. And if you have found a better and cheaper alternative, you can put it up with the group as well. So other people will
Yeah,
also
definitely. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions?
There's one in the chat regarding, do we need to get enough cash for the rent in October as well? What do you guys think?
Depends on the place, right? If they have a place, then it's gonna be easy. If they don't, then you might have to be safe enough to bring another month of rent. Usually it does. I don't think you would need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can we go to the Excel sheet?
Yep.
Okay, Sharon, I'm going to share my screen now.
Yes, I'll stop sharing. Okay, stop sharing. Yeah.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So the first question is, will the smartphone that we are using in India support the local Dutch SIM card? Yes, it will. Or will we have to buy a new device in the Netherlands? Unless your device is, let's say, more than 10 years old, I don't think so. It's going to be a problem, right? I'm personally using a phone which is probably 6 or 7 years old, and I had no issues with using a Dutch SIM card. Is there any way to get in touch with our duo roommates beforehand?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, right. We emailed Duo
You
asking
basically
for.
have to email Duos with your details stating that I want you, Duo, I authorize you to send my details to other people of my room. And if they're interested, they'll get in touch with you. But you can't, they won't give you their details. You can only request you by sending in your details.
Yeah. Aerospace engineering oriented, is a discrete graphics card must? What laptops do seniors have? Is it possible to name a few? Thanks. I think Sharon, you can take this.
Discrete graphic card is a must. It also depends on what branch you are. I'm in aerodynamics track, and for me, discrete graphic card is, I wouldn't say it's a must, but if you have it, seeing data would be very much simpler, because if you use ParaView, or for the fact, let's say you're using ANSYS Fluent post-processing, the rendering will be very smooth, and you wouldn't have to waste a lot of time for that frames to render. So yeah, it's up to you. And if most of the laptops right now, you will need at least 8 GB of RAM, and 16 GB is recommended. And if you are buying a laptop with 16 GB of RAM and a very good Intel processor, I think you won't get a laptop without a discrete graphic card.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, for me, I use a MSI G66. And I know a few people who use laptops from the laptop project, which are really, really, really good. And it's also really cheap, like 16, I think it was 1400 euros or something. And I wouldn't call it very cheap, but for the specs they are giving it, it's
Yes.
actually very cheap. And
Yeah.
it is actually useful and you'll use it to your full potential. So yeah,
Yeah.
you can go through. I would suggest take the laptop project laptop for aerospace as a benchmark, and you can find a good laptop for yourself.
Yeah. Vignesh, do you want to say something?
Yeah, okay. Adding to that, like I wanted to tell in the terms of electrical thing. So in SET, we have a project called SIP, which consumes like 16 GB of RAM for the MATLAB thing. So usually, like the lesser the RAM, the computer gets super hot because we run the system overnight, and sometimes when it's close to like 95, it crashes in morning, and it's really irritating a thing. So try to get your laptop which has like good processor and like good cooling system also. Yeah. My laptop got heated, like I can bake a cake in that.
Welcome to
Sounds me.
aerospace, Vignesh.
Yeah. But I would also say that sometimes don't go for like, extremely advanced, like,
Yeah.
you don't need to go for 64 GB RAM or 32 GB RAM or something like that, unless it is specified by your course. Primarily because if you're working on a very advanced project, especially when you're working on a thesis or something like that, you can always gain access to the TU Delft cluster where, you can upload your code or upload your process to basically the cloud, and they're going to run the simulation on the supercomputers that they have. So you don't need to worry about your laptop being, taking care of your thesis codes or something like that. So
adding to that, Ved, just one more thing. Few projects in aerospace department, few thesis, you are not like they won't allow you to use your own laptops for security reasons. So you'll have to use the labs only. So it doesn't make sense to get 64 GB, 32 GB, quite expensive as well. Yeah, and go to the next question.
The next question is, what do you recommend, buying your own cycle or going for a subscription based like SwapFeeds? I think it's a personal choice over here. I mean, there's always something you learn in case of mechanical engineering, you learn, or supply chain, you basically learn there's a break-even cost for everything. So I think SwapFeeds, they have a student discount and the basic bike costs you around 16 or 17 euros per month. So, well, as a good second-hand bike would probably set you back around 150 or maybe 200 euros. It's good second-hand. But a Decathlon basic version would probably cost you around 250 to 300 euros. So this is a choice that you have to make, because in two cases, either a new bike or a second hand, you will be paying money upfront, but then that's it, right? You don't have to worry about anything. It's your bike. But if it comes to repairs, that is something that is an additional cost that you will have to incur, especially let's say if your tire gets punctured or if your wheel gets bent, repair costs can basically go up significantly. I remember I bought a bike for around, I think 160 euros, which was second hand. I had to go for repairs and had to replace the wheel for some reason or the other, and they charged me 90 euros. So this is basically more than half the cost of the bike. So you can imagine, right? But in the case of SwapFeeds, you can be lucky and you don't have to, incur any of those repair costs or something like that. They just have insurance on the bike. So even if a bike gets stolen, I think you have to just pay like 20 euros and you'll get a new bike, and you don't have to worry about maintenance or anything. So it's, you'll have to do this analysis for yourself. Like, what is something that, you are okay with, the kind of financial commitment that you want to make. I don't think, personally, I prefer, having a bike of my own because I like biking. So I want to have a particular style of bike and stuff like that. But if you are just getting in, maybe get a 6-month subscription for SwapFeeds, get a feel of the place, see if you're okay with having non-geared bikes, see if you're okay with just having pedal brakes. And if that floats your boat, go ahead with it. Do you guys want to add something here?
The SwapFeeds actually. So the SwapFeeds.
Sorry.
So the SwapFeeds actually, like if you're like, let's say you're taking for only 1 month, so the price would be like higher. Like it starts from 60 euros. So based on the contract and how many months of subscription that you're taking, your base price is changing. So basically, they are making you to use the SwapFeeds for more time.
Yeah. I just want to add one thing that not a thing, it's my experience. I bought a cycle for 60 euros. I was lucky. It worked out well for me for like 6 months. Then one day, somehow my tire got slashed, and I went to change the tire and ask him to repair it, and it costed me 70 euros. So
That's more
that's
than
how
a
it
cycle
works.
cost.
It's a new second-hand cycle cost.
Yeah.
That's how it works here.
Okay, so I hope that answers the question. Moving on, I have divided my queries into two sub-queries. I like it. This guy is probably from computer science. I have some medical conditions for which I require daily medication for a relatively longer period of time. Would I be needing a prescription for all those medicines? Yes, you will be needing those prescriptions, definitely. What is the scenario for over-the-counter medicines available in the Netherlands? Do I need to carry basic medicine for so the basic medicines for cough, cold, fever are definitely available even if you go to the local supermarket like Jumbo or Albert Heijn. But yeah, those are going to be definitely much more expensive as compared to buying a Crocin or a paracetamol or a Sinarest or a Dolo from India. So at least for a year, you can carry the basic over-the-counter medicines that you require. For example, some amount of antibiotics, some amount of paracetamols that you would require. Carry that with you for cold, fever, and everything rather than going to Jumbo, because it's not always possible that when you're actually sick, you will go out to the supermarket to buy something, especially in this cold, right? So I would suggest carry some with you, but otherwise, if you run out of supplies, definitely they are available over here. So you don't need to worry about it. But for the prescriptions for other medicines, specialized ones, you will definitely need it.
Yeah, paracetamol for 1,200 rupees.
Adding to the first question, I know a friend who's actually having a long period of time, has some issues. So he actually has the very good insurance. So he actually has to take a blood test every month, which is costing him let's say 400 euros. So everything that he spends on the medical thing actually covered by the insurance. So people who has the long time issues with the medications should actually take a better insurance. So it will cover up everything. And medicines you can't buy, let's say like in India. So you have a prescription and the medications are directly sent to a government aided medical pharmacies over here where you can pick it up. So people who have that issues, I would recommend you to take a very good insurance. Let's say the I2S Plus Master Plan. That friend of mine is taking that, which is actually covering everything. We can go to the next one.
Okay, the next question. In terms of cooking appliances, what and all should we get? Cookers, pans, and I think this has been covered in today's webinar, so we don't have to carry. Maybe redundant question, but will Indian SIM cards work there? Mainly because of OTP reasons. So the SIM is, yes, it does work over there, but you'll have to do like a monthly recharge, whatever the bare minimum is possible, in order to keep your card active. And this is something that I'm speaking from personal experience. I've kept my card active because of the same reason, for OTPs and stuff like that. Do you guys have anything to add here?
No.
Okay. In duo apartments, what all cutlery is present and what should we get from India? Pots, pans, plates. Someone from duo?
We already put the link
The
in
inventory list.
in the chart. So that's the inventory list, and you can decide what you want to bring apart from that.
So adding to that, if there is no utensils are there available, so it's fine actually. From Delft, IKEA is let's say it's 2 kilometers. You get everything, so we don't have to mind. It is ranging from 10 euros to 25 euros of all utensils that you have, so it's fine.
Yeah.
One thing, what is the spice box called? In
Okay, so
Hindi or
it's a
English? I don't
small
know.
box in the duo they give. Actually, there is no use of it.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Anjar Effective. What is it called in Hindi? I don't know. I think it's very useful. I think you should definitely bring it.
Dabba set, masala dabba set.
Masala dabba.
Yeah.
I don't know what that's called, but that's very useful.
Basically, a small box where if you open, you have all your spices in it.
Yeah,
It really helps you while cooking.
It's very, very useful. I think you should definitely bring it from India because you won't get it here.
I think they say as Nivi told, it's called Anjarapetti in Tamil, and in Hindi I think dabba set, masala dabba set. I think so. Yeah.
You put it in Amazon masala dabba, you'll get it. I'm pretty.
Yeah, you'll get nice fancy ones.
But just make sure nobody steals it from you if you're having the common one. Okay. Moving to the next question. I wanted to understand what kind of part-time job opportunities are available to us once we get there. College website says that assistantships are rare and we should rely on getting one. Are there campus service jobs that are available for students? Also, international students get service jobs on the campus as well on part-time basis. If yes, what is the remuneration for like this? Okay, I want to cover this. Part-time job opportunities completely vary depending upon what kind of part-time job you want to do. Firstly, let's stick to the restrictions. As an international student or as a non-EU person, you are only allowed to work on a part-time basis for 16 hours per week. Okay. Or in case you have to do an internship, then you have to do an internship for only, let's say, 3 months. That is June, July, and August on a full-time basis. But you cannot combine both of them. You cannot work part-time and you cannot also work for an internship like, full-time. So you have to decide. And this is something that you would be, up to you. But unless you are doing an internship for credits, then this rule is kind of, subverted, and you can also work part-time while doing an internship or something like that. Okay. Next, assistantships are rare, and that is something that we shouldn't rely on. I completely agree with this, because normally the TA ships or the RA ships that are available, that is not something that is guaranteed. It depends from department to department. Within the department also, it varies from course to course. And normally, let's say if they have a TA ship position for a bachelor's person, it's normally in Dutch. So unless you are extremely good at Dutch, there is no chance that you're going to get it. But in case that it's in English, for example, if you're in a lab assistant or something like that, those offers tend to be quite competitive. So naturally, you can expect it's not very easy to get those TA ships. Is it impossible? No. I know plenty of people who have gotten TA ships and utilize that spare money that in order to basically sustain themselves. But would I rely on it to basically pay my rent, pay my fees, and cover my living costs? No. Because the contract that you will have, it will have an hourly wage of around, I think, 15 to 16 euros per hour. And the amount of hours that you can work will be specified in your contract. Yeah. So for example, if your contract is maybe for around 80 hours, so spread out over an entire quarter. So you can do the math and do like 15 times 80. So this is around 1,200 euros. Yeah. So that's like 1,200 euros. So 1,200 euros, I think if you just look at the groceries, it's probably going to be sufficient for like 6 months, assuming like 200 euros per month. And again, assuming that you're going to be cooking your own food and stuff like that. And 200 euros might be slightly on the higher side. I'm saying on the higher side because of the worst case scenario. But in the case that, let's say, you want to use it to pay your rent, it's probably going to be just 2 months of rent. No. So I would not rely again on the off chance that I get a TA ship. That is how I'm going to manage my finances.
Well, adding to that, best part of having a TA card is like you can get a free coffee anywhere around the campus, and you can take how many hour printouts you want.
Yes, that is one more reason to get a TA job. Can international students get service jobs outside of campus as well? Definitely on a part-time basis. Yes, you can. What is the remuneration for this? It completely depends upon the kind of job, but I think it varies completely from minimum wage to maybe 20, 21 euros per hour. But again, I would like to stress on the fact that the first year can actually be quite stressful, quite taxing in the amount of time that you have to basically dedicate towards your studies. So what I would say is, rather than focusing on the money aspect of it, you have come here to basically study. At least for the first 1 or 2 quarters, get an idea of the kind of rigor the kind of rigorous studies that are expected from you. Focus on that, clear your courses, and only then, if you there is still some amount of time that is left, then go for a part-time job. Don't just right off the bat go for a part-time job or something. So
exactly.
Yeah, that answers the question. Next question. Any advice on housing post-studies? I've heard it's possible to migrate to the US post-studies. Any idea how that works? This is something that we'll,
Even I have the question too.
Yeah, this is something that I think we should discuss 2 years down the line, not something right now. But yes, the degree that you get from TU Delft is definitely globally recognized. So if you have the right kind of experience, if you have the right kind of work ethic, and if you can convince someone in the US to basically hire you and pay for your visa to basically move to the US, I think it's definitely possible. I've heard of people doing that. I've heard of people moving to the UK, to France, to Germany, to US, and all sorts of places, but it's something that you have to do by yourself. I don't think TU Delft is going to help you do that. There's no streamlined part to it. First of all, I think the visa restrictions in the US are slightly different from how it operates in the EU. So you will have to decide how to navigate that particular minefield. Yeah, I hope that's okay. Please don't pick on me for this. How do we get a jet spray? Even I want one. Are there any which we can install? As an Indian, this is probably my most important concern in living in the Netherlands. Thanks. I haven't found one in the last 3.5 years. Has anyone else managed to find it?
No.
Okay.
Still searching.
Cool. So there are two ways to go about this. You can either get used to not toilet paper, or you can basically rely on the good old Lota. Personal preference, you guys can do what you want, whatever floats your boat. I hope that answers the question. Or maybe you can come, 3D print some jet spray and stuff like that. Have like a Arduino powered pump or something like that. Discuss this with your roommate whenever you're staying in the flat. Can you guys please share the exact ground reality of the housing situation? It's bad. Will we even get a place to stay? If you already have one, definitely yes. Are they even available? I mean, this is a very politically loaded question. I can't answer this. If someone wants to take it, please take it.
Yeah, there are houses, but you need to do like, yeah, let's say there are 100 houses. There are like 1,500 to 2,000 people applying for that. I'll tell you the ground reality.
Yeah.
Not this year. Last year, my friend was also in the same situation, and he did not even come for IP, and I was here. And in August, he had a basically viewing, and I was the one who went on a viewing on behalf of him. It was the house literally gave me the Harry room vibes, because it was actually under a stair and it was a very small room. The rent was 750 euros, and you know how many people turned up for the viewing? 34 people.
Wow.
34 people for that small place. And yeah, it does happen. And yeah, that's the ground reality, and that's why we have been insisting on paying the fee as soon as possible. But we also do understand that it's not your fault, and even that person's, it was not his fault. His tehsildar wanted a bribe of 8 lakh rupees to sanction a loan, something like that. It's not in our hands. But yeah, this is the housing situation. But it doesn't mean that you won't get house if you like search. Recently, a house opened up in the, like, I've sent the link long back in the group, which is the Yagpad housing in Rijswijk. And I have told people, like, whoever have consulted, like, texted me, I've told you to keep a key eye on that end, because a lot of people contracts are expiring and it starts. And yesterday, I think there were like 24 houses which went live. So yeah, if you keep on checking every day without slacking, you'll be able to like get a house.
Yeah, even I spoke with a friend who is living in Yagpad. I think they are actually renewing new houses in the Yagpad. The problem you might think is like it's too far, but it's not actually too far. It's like only 6 kilometers from the campus. You can actually ride every day and cycle.
If you see it in this way, it's only like it takes me 16 to 17 minutes from Litzstraat to like my faculty, and those people take 22 to 25 minutes, and that's the only difference while biking.
Yeah, just a distance of 5 songs.
Yeah, a 5 song, like, yeah, that's how we
Yeah.
measure it, 5 to 7 songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the ground reality.
Okay, so adding to the previous question, like the jet spray, I don't think like most of the restrooms over here doesn't have any output for the water, so there's no point in even like you guys getting an additional one.
Yeah, that's
It's
also
fine. You can actually get used to it.
the
Yeah.
disappointment in his face. Like,
Oh. Okay.
do I need to get my birth certificate apostle for registering my address at the municipality of Delft? No, for Delft, you don't need it because it's not there in the list of documents by the Gemeente of Delft. Should the students who are waitlisted depend on getting a place from Duo? It feels like a gamble. Yes, it is a gamble, because waitlist basically means if someone cancels, if there is an opening, you might get it, and that's also first come first serve. And you might think, do people even cancel? Yes, they cancel. 2 of my friends who paid the fee, who got a house, and then now they got into a, like, according to them, a better university in the US. So they're going to US, so they canceled all of their things. So 2 houses are opening, which I know of. So there is a hope, but I wouldn't say that you can completely rely only on that and stop looking for other places. And yeah, before you ask me, it's not possible to transfer those houses to other people because we already emailed Duo regarding whether it's possible because they already have the house. Is it possible to give it to someone who also registered with Duo? But it's not possible. It again goes back to the lot of houses and you have to wait for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we covered all the questions.
Yeah, I think we did. Definitely did.
We are overboard.
Yeah. 45 minutes. So
45.
think,
I mean, yeah, it's the last webinar which we are taking. So
Yeah.
so first of all, I guess I'd like to thank Nivida, Sharan, as well as Vignesh for putting together this presentation and conducting this session. And I would like to thank all of you guys for being a part of this session. And perhaps most of you have, like, I would say, joined all other sessions that we've had. We really hope to basically interact with you in person. I hope your stress levels reduce once you get over here or even before coming here. And I really wish, like, let's say, all the best to all of you for starting your studies. And I hope it goes smoothly. And even if it doesn't, I know for a fact that all of you guys will be, coming out on top at the end of 2 years. So don't worry. Don't listen to anyone who says that, is it going to be worth it? Or will I be able to do this? Because maybe getting into TU Delft is slightly easy. But once you're out of TU Delft, the amount of confidence that you'll have in your own abilities, nobody will be able to pull you down. So look forward to that. Look forward to making new friends. Look forward to new beginnings and a fresh start. So see you guys soon. I hope this was helpful. All right. Thank you.
thank you. See you.
Thank you.
See you guys.
See you.
Bye bye.